Apologies for any sniffling you hear. I got allergies, but as per usual, I'm going to show out the perks, and then the quick, like, that's what the Incarnon mode does. Then after that, I'll just talk about other crap. But if you just want to see what the perks does and what the Incarnon does, I'm just going to do that real quick. Here you go. But the Incarnon basically turns the Torrid into a Tomos or a Kuva Nuclear where it can chain, and it can chain pretty far. I don't want to say like 20 meters because I don't want to get wrong information, but it's pretty far. It does seem that the beam does have damage fall off, so there's that, but it doesn't really matter because you're doing pretty good damage. As you'll see with my super basic build, I have like just critical delay and I'm hitting orange crits because I think it's around 132% status chance of the stuff I chose. So yeah, pretty good. And because the Torrid is an AoE weapon, you don't actually, it can hit headshots, but to build the Incarnon, you just need direct hits, so it's actually really easy to build the Incarnon. And another interesting thing too is that the Torrid actually doesn't cause self-stagger, even though it's an AoE weapon. This is the build, again, no arcane slot, super basic, no galvanized mods, not using Panzer, none of that. My Naruto doesn't have any damage boost on. Just to show you how the weapon can stand on its own. Again, I don't have any Scarab Armor on, or I guess Negation Swarm, and again, no self-staggers, so pretty cool. Now, Torrid doesn't get headshot damage, but it can technically headshot. The beam can actually hit headshots, so as you'll see in like another build I have, I actually do take that into account. But again, pretty good. That's all you want to see. That's pretty much the Torrid. I think it's pretty good in Incarnon form. Like the rest, I know, shocker. Again, I'm sure at this point on the titles are going to be the same, but if that's all you want to see, that's pretty much it. Now I'm just going to go on why I chose what I chose and just some other random stuff. So first things first, in terms of like the first choice, I chose the extra multi-shot and damage. Even though it takes it away from my magazine capacity, this only, when it's talking about taking away ammo from magazine capacity, it's talking about the Incarnon version, so it drains faster. But as you'll see with the multi-shot and all the other stuff, you'll just build it back up instantly, so it really isn't a downside. You know, you just, you know, go out of Incarnon, shoot like one torch shot, go back in, and just keep going. The other one giving you +3 on the last shot is okay, because this thing only has 5 shots, but I would rather have something that buffs kind of both of the forms, so there's that. For this one, I believe the other one was magazine size. It gets you up to around 14. Things like +9 in the mag, which is okay, but I like the projectile speed because it makes it shoot straight toward, shoots like pretty much vertical. Or sorry, horizontal instead of arcing. And as you can see, the total ammo for the Torrid isn't that large either, so I mean the extra 14 shots is whatever. Again, it only takes like maybe 1 or 2 shots to build up the Incarnon to full anyways, so you don't really have to worry about the mag being super low. So that's why I chose that one. I forgot the other option, but there's that. I think it was like on the last on the first shot you get some bonus something when you reload from empty. I can't remember though. For this one, Commodore's Fortune only gives you 20% crit chance and nothing else. This one gives you 15 of both crit and status, so I think this is just better than Commodore's Fortune. The other one gives you 34% status chance, which is kind of interesting, because if you look at the stats here, with the basic build I'm running, again, I'm almost at 100% status chance, and this is a beam weapon, so you could have a play for, okay, make this, you know, super high status chance, maybe get a Riven to super weight this into heat, and just basically make another Phantasma, I guess. Another interesting thing about the Torrid is that it has an innate toxin, so modding for it's a little tricky. Because if you just put on like, for instance, Rime rounds and, you know, Thermite rounds, so just cold and heat, you wouldn't make viral and heat. You'd make what is it, blasting toxin? Because again, the toxin I believe combines first, so you'd have to, again, that's why I have to have Malignant Force in here. And in terms of why this is unranked, is because you're trying to, ideally, you want to have higher heat weighting and lower viral rating, because heat procs don't have a cap limit. Virals cap out at 10, so you want to stack up so much heat as you want, or as you can. That's pretty much it. So yeah, I'm gonna go show this off in a Void Cascade and then a just a Steel Path Survival. And then I will show off this build for like a Riven and all the other stuff, if people want to see that. Well, I mean, I'm just going to shut off anyways. But if you're wondering, again, why don't you, you know, use Panzer and all this other stuff to show off a weapon? I mean, I could do that, but the issue is, like, when you do that, and pretty much any weapon can work. Like, I could just, you know, I could just do this, you know, strip all their armor, put a magnetized bubble on one of them, you know, put up the Incarnon form. Wow, this is look how crazy this weapon is. This is so strong. Like I could do that, but at that point you can use any weapon to kind of just do this, you know. So that's why I don't like to show it off with that. Now obviously when I play, yeah, I'm gonna be using this stuff, but just again just to show that the weapon can stand on its own, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, I'm going to get a Naros here, so I don't have to pretty much worry about anything. Where did I put Naros? That's Harrow. I should just learn to type this stuff in. I don't know why I just keep looking for it. And this is what I'm using. I'm using sprint boost at enemy sense. My subsume here is Firewalker, so I'm not boosting the damage by any crazy thing. I'm not gonna use Panzer here. We're gonna do the Void Cascade first, I guess, and then we will go to the whatchamacallit, beach normal survival. I'm gonna go put on an Naru for whatever reason. If I somehow manage to die as a Naru, I can at least get a, you know, second wind. So yeah. Oh, it's Corpus. Okay. Well, at least I'll show it killing a Thrax, I guess. The thing about Corpus is that they kind of fall over regardless, because there's only like maybe 1 or 2 armored units there, like a Bursa and something else, and they don't really show up. But I will say another point in the Torrid's favor is that this thing is innate toxin, and the reason why it's one of my most used weapons is that I used to use Zephyr just like Carbon Bomb Corpus with toxin procs. So if you want to go that route, also gas too. It's, you know, just mod it for gas. Yeah, this isn't as impressive, obviously, because I don't have any stacks to build up here. Oh, I don't have slime. Fine. Like, it's Corpus, so they're just kind of fall over here. They're just gonna kind of die. But like I said, building the Incarnon's super easy. Again, that's 2 shots and I'm pretty much full anyways. And again, if you have galvanized mods with galvanized chamber, you're gonna stack this even faster. So it's like takes you maybe just 1 shot to get your Incarnon meter like half full or over like 3/4 full. So again, it doesn't really matter about wasting more ammo in the Incarnon form because he's stood back. Yeah, I'm just gonna quit out here. I don't think I really need to show anything else. Like I think we know this is. Yeah. I will say, in the case of Acolytes, beam weapons aren't known to be the best against Acolytes, because again, Acolytes have a max amount of status effects they can take. So if you're going like the Phantasm route where you just want to like bleed them out or burn them out, not really the best. It's probably better to use something that can chunk a lot harder. So yeah, that's like the one downside. It's not the best Acolyte killing thing, but it can definitely kill an Acolyte. I actually think the normal Torrid shot actually might be better for killing the Acolyte, because again, it's like an AoE blast. It's like more chunky than the continuous beam damage. So yeah.
The art of combat must be
again, I don't really have anything else to say outside of this is a good Incarnon. I'm pretty sure they're going to nerf the disposition separately, because if you look in the UI, there is definitely a ribbon disposition like thing that shows up in the Incarnon form UI. So I'm assuming just like with the primes versus the normal variants, that they'll also, like, once you switch to Incarnon, your ribbon will have like negative stats or something. I'm guessing that. Do I want them to do that? No, not really. But it's something in the world they do. Again, even without a ribbon, this is really good. So there's that. As you can tell, this is just really good. The other Incarnon weapon I chose was the Dual Toxicist, because again, that's another weapon I just liked because I thought it was unique. Oh, my one complaint with Dual Toxicist is that it doesn't have full auto, because the way it works, that it's really slow firing, heavy recoil, but the moment you hit a headshot, I just missed like 3 shots in a row. The moment you hit a headshot, faster fire rate, no recoil, like more damage. I think it does like innate toxin or corrosive procs or something. And the issue was that it's not full auto, so they keep like pressing the trigger button or pressing M1, and it's kind of annoying. So hopefully the Incarnon either addresses that, or they just add that as like a feature for the Dual Toxicist. But yeah, I'm pretty sure most people want the Atomos and maybe the Miter. I heard some good things about the Miter. But like I said, so far it doesn't seem like it can go wrong with any of these Incarnons. Well, like I said, you're probably not gonna see me talk about any of the melee Incarnon weapons, because I just don't care for melee in this game. I like the guns, and in the case of the Incarnons, all the melee Incarnons are just like more range, more damage. So compared to like, oh, the Torrid, it goes from you know, spore launcher to like a beam weapon. Like that's cooler than just plus 100 damage and more range, you know. Um, so yeah, I'm definitely gonna be picking the weapon Incarnons for the most bit. Oh, I did hear the ceramic dagger last week was pretty good. So there's that. I guess to kill some time, we could talk about other Incarnon things. Um, an interesting thing is that like with Ribbons, Incarnon perk bonuses actually have a there's differences. Like if you have the Prime versus the MK1 version, you'll get like a stronger stat bonus for the Incarnon perks. Now that does lead to some like debates. Like I remember the Tellus Boltus versus the Boltor Prime was one. Um, and the reason why like that debate even comes up is one, obviously, you know, min-max is how much damage you do, but also I don't know if you realize this, but it took me a while to realize that you only get one Incarnate adapter to put on the weapon. So like let's say again in the case of the Tellus the Boltor, right? You can either put on your Boltor, Boltor Prime, or Tellus Boltus. The moment you put on one of them, you can't like swap it off into the other one. So you're gonna have to wait like another month or something, because I think they're on a 6 or 7 week rotation. So it's gonna be a while till you see it again. So I think that's why people are usually hesitant to, you know, just, oh, let me put it on, whatever. So if the Tigers ever gets an Incarnon, oh boy, that's going to be a tough choice for me. Because the Tigers Prime, its claim to fame was that, again, massive base damage, and then used to have shotgun, 100% shotgun status chance. So you could just, you know, viral and bleed someone out. This is back when viral was just half the enemy's health. So yeah, really strong. Pretty much could one-shot anything in the game if it was like status, if it wasn't immune to status. But because of that, it had pretty bad like stats everywhere else, like bad crit stats, just bad stuff overall. The Sanctity Targets has less base damage, but it has better crit stats, and I think better status too, so I don't know, I might go with that one, if they are going to make a Tigris Incarnon. It would be nice if we had like community polls that vote on stuff like that, that'd be kind of nice. But I will definitely say, if I could choose a weapon to get the Incarnon treatment, I would definitely say the Boar Prime, or just the Boar series. I know people like the Sobek too, but the Boar Prime is like a roller coaster for me. It used to be able to, back when shotguns get a 100% status chance, I believe it had like 40% status chance. It only needed like 3 dual stats instead of all 4 to get to 100% status chance. So that was pretty good. But then they nerfed it so it needed 4. And then it's primarily impact based, and it's like the comb just kind of does it. If you like, I liked it because the feeling of like an AA automatic shotgun, you know, but the comb kind of just does it better at this point. So I think it'd be kind of nice to have a Boar Incarnon adapter. And that obviously, as we can see, the dual toxins in Torrid, it's not just limited to you know, Tenno weapons. You can infested weapons can be it. So, you know, I'd like to see maybe an ambassador, Incarnon, a Tenant ambassador, something. I like the ambassador, but I just wanted to be dumb. I like it a lot. I just wanted to be even more dumb. Let me look at this. Oh, Malice. Oh boy, this is kind of annoying. I'm gonna shoot him with a normal shot first to show you what it does. Please don't magnetize me. Did he magnetize me? Oh, he did. If I didn't have negation swarm up here, I literally would have just killed myself right there. Oof. Wait till his magnetize bubble goes away, and then we can try to kill him. But as you can see, yeah, not the best. Again, Acolytes can only take 4 of an proc, so this isn't really gonna do much. Now, if it was armor stripped, obviously, yeah. Like that, if I armor strip him right there. See, right there, that's just a normal Torrid shot. I think yeah. I think just using the normal Torrid right there is just better than the Incarnon form, because it's just chunkier. I want to see if I can get my HP back here. There we go. Alright, let's get out of here. That's pretty much it. I'm going to go do another run with my Riven. My Riven isn't anything crazy, but if you want to see that, you can stick around. But that's pretty much the video. I think I've said everything I needed to say. Everything else is just probably a rant, or not a rant, but just me rambling, so there's that. But yeah, again, the Torrid always had kind of a special place in my heart. I don't know why I liked it, I just liked using it. I don't know, it just sounded cool. I loved using it with Zephyr and Jetstream, and just again just bombing corpus toxin procs.
Clarity
Uh,
and purpose.
so yeah, that's pretty much it. I believe the double resource weekend is next week, so there's that, and it does stack with any boosters you get from, you know, like a relay or from like login rewards or your Smita Kavat. So yeah, there's that. Doesn't work on the Pathos clamps. It does work on like other Deviri stuff. I know the Rune Marrow doesn't work in the Undercroft for some reason to be in your operator or whatever. But yeah, you can't like get like 30 Pathos clamps from doing a Steel Path or a Worm fight, which kind of sucks. But it works on pretty much everything else. So this is a big boy build. As you can tell, I have Galvanized Aptitude, Galvanized Chamber, Deadhead. I'll tell you why I'm using Deadhead later. Ribbon is just fire rate, toxin, status chance. It isn't the craziest thing. Obviously, you could go, oh, you know, crit chance, crit damage, heat. Like God help if they ever make a Ceranos Incarnon or a Muted Ceranos Incarnon. I have some stupid ribbons for those. But yeah, this isn't anything crazy. So the one thing about this ribbon that is pretty good though is that because it has innate toxin on the ribbon, I can actually save a slot and just put cold here and then heat. That's why on this one you see how I have to put on, you know, toxin and cold. Because this has the toxin here, don't have to put on cold. The issue though is because it has toxin, it's pretty high toxin weighting too. The viral weighting is kind of high. And it isn't the end of the world, obviously you'll see, but if you want to optimize your damage, you'd want this, you want to be viral to be as low as possible and heat to be higher, because this thing only shoots up toxin and heat anyways. So there's that. But yeah, that's pretty much the build. I'll go again, run the mission back, and I'm not gonna use Panzer or damage booster anyways, because I think, you know, I am kind of tempted to take out the ribbon, but again, just at any point in time, the reason why, again, I have to keep harping on this because I don't want anyone to say, oh, why didn't you use this or that? As I keep showing the super bare minimum basic build, is just to show you how strong the weapon is on its own. And then, yeah, if you don't like the way, oh, it's kind of weak with all just basic mods, well, yeah, throw in some galvanized mod, put on roar, armor strip, yeah, and it's going to be a monster. You know, most weapons are when you do that, so nothing too crazy. I did say I picked the dual toxicist ribbon. I don't know if I talked about the whole entire full auto thing. I'm pretty sure I did with the dual toxicist, but I picked that one. I do have the Bronco ribbon. Like I have other what do you call it, Incarnon ones. I will make videos on like the Brad and Paris. I know even though they're older, I'll just make them anyways. But yeah, you can see it's shredding a lot faster. But yeah, I have the Bronco one. The issue with the Bronco Incarnon form is that, unlike the Torrid, I already had a full build on this thing. And all I had to do is just slap on the Incarnon form and I'm good to go. What is this weapon? Talk more. With the Bronco, I just happen to have a Bronco Prime in my foundry that's been sitting there for years. I never like took claims from the foundry, so I have to make an entire build on that thing. But if you want like a little preview, the Incarnon makes it ricochet, like it still shoots shotgun shots, but it like ricochets and stuff like that. I think it has heat damage on it. Pretty good. And the dizzying round augment still works in both forms, and that's the one where if you hit an enemy, you can open up the finisher to have a chance to open up the finisher, and it gives you like plus 200% status chance, so it's pretty good. So yeah, I will make that one eventually. The only issue with that weapon, again, is that to build the Incarnon form kind of sucks because you only have 4 shots in that thing, and 6 if you pick an Incarnon perk. And yeah, hitting headshots with that shotgun, my aim's kind of bad, so it does take a little bit to build up the Incarnon, but it's not the end of the world. But yeah, I will say though, like kind of a side tangent about Incarnons is that I feel like I don't know if it's like the Fireman's Hatchet thing where you know, the thing is like, oh, you have an old hatchet and it's a handle and a blade, and you know, oh, the handle breaks, you replace the handle, and then oh, the blade breaks, you replace the blade. Is it the same hatchet, you know, or is it completely different? Kind of feel like that with Incarnon forms where, are you really using the Torrid because the Torrid's good, or is it because what it turns into is good? You know, like with the Lex. Is the Lex good on its own? Yeah, but the Plasmor it turns into is like way better. It's like kind of like a weapons platform for it or something. I don't know. That's why I'm kind of glad that the perks do buff the non-Incarnon version more than the Incarnon version, because again, you can use a Torrid normally like this, and it does work. Like you see that, that's one shot right there. It does do work. So Yeah, I'm just curious though what people think. Like, is it the Lex Prime that's good, or did the Incarnon Plasma wave that's good? And if it's just that part that's good, is the Lex really that good? Because you can just slap it on any weapon of an Incarnon, right? Um, I am kind of hoping that the Incarnons are getting more. I want to say unique, because like the last couple ones I've seen are like a lot of them are just like, oh, AOE explosion, right? And that's cool and all, but I like things like this, like the Torrid, where it goes from a AOE launch to like a beam weapon, or like the Fierce, again, single target beam weapon. I know it's the same example, but it's, or like the Fenmore goes from a single shot to like a minigun, or the Furlax shotgun to dual wield like pistol thing. I like Incarnons like that, and that's why again I don't really like the melee ones, because they all just more damage, and more range. Like, that's kind of boring. But as you can tell, again, it's pretty good. For the Acolyte, I'm probably just gonna shoot him with a Torrid, like the normal version, and just call it a day there and see what happens. I'm gonna armor strip him too, because why not? I do have an Iria. I believe they said Renaro's gonna get a rework at some point, which is kind of nice. Because right now he's just like throwing the health mods, the Warframe, and you just kind of live. I think I already talked about wanting the boar and the ambassador to have variants. I think I already talked about most things I want to talk about, so I'm just rambling to kill time. I guess I can talk about the Devary update. I think it's pretty good. The only negative part for me was the bugs. And again, I played solo, so I think it's not the networking bug, but the circuit was like the thing I was interested in the most, and the most buggy thing. Again, going past 3 waves and still path wouldn't progress. Apparently, host migration still break it, so it does kind of suck. The circuit's still kind of bugged. The only issue I have with the circuit, like outside of the bugs, is that you can't mod stuff. Like, I don't mind not being able to pick your weapons, but you need to be able to mod stuff, because again, if you get unfortunate and you don't get like a lot of good weapons, not everything's still path viable. So you're gonna need, like, if it's able to, like, oh, can I just mod this? Then sure, I think it'd be a lot better. Yeah, that's one shot from the Torrid, and I didn't do anything else. I'm shooting two. I miss. There we go. Yeah, I think the normal Torrid does it better than the Incarnon one. Actually, no. I think Incarnon one. Never mind. It looked like it just took off his health. Yeah, the only sad part about the Torrid is that it's a primary weapon, so I can't put on Cascadia Flare or secondary Encumber, because oh my god, imagine secondary Encumber on this thing. Oh, that would be fun. Alright. So I think the Incarnon weapon's probably like the best idea he has had in a long time for weapons. I know ribbons were like, I don't know, ribbons are kind of a murky area. There's good, because they're truly evergreen rewards, because pretty much in every activity you're gonna use a gun, but they're bad because the the ribbon market and all this other shit. But they certainly can make stuff fun though. I don't hate them, but I think Incarnons are just like a win across the board. I don't think anyone thinks Incarnons were a bad idea. But that's pretty much it. Again, thanks for watching, and yeah, see you in the next one.